I don't want to hurt you. I just want to bash your goddamn brains in. So I just rewatched one of my absolute favourite horror movies of all time, The Shining. Directed by Stanley Kubrick and loosely based on Stephen King's novel. Stephen King also is known to really hate the film because it's so different to the novel, and understandably so, that can be annoying, but I haven't read the novel personally yet, but the movie absolutely is stunning and works. Starring Jack Nicholson in what is a flawless performance, and Shelley Duvall, who plays his wife in the movie. Jack Nicholson plays Jack Torrance, who moves his wife and son to a hotel to work as a caretaker for the winter. Also working on writing his own book, which he believes living in isolation will be helpful, but he thought wrong. We soon witness Jack absolutely descending into madness step by step as the movie progresses, and his performance is absolutely superb. Jack Nicholson is amazing. I'm sure everybody has already heard this. Shelley Duvall is also exceptional as the wife, and a lot of people are already aware that she was severely mistreated on set by Stanley Kubrick, the director, most of which is believed to get her into character. However, she did suffer a lot of mental and physical negative reactions because of this role. I remember reading or hearing in an interview that she started losing her hair, and she was definitely very stressed, depressed, and had to go on medication while recording the movie, and definitely after. It sounds like the poor lady was just never the same again. The movie remains mysterious, even with its ending. We don't actually understand the supernatural forces at work here that are actually influencing Jack and deteriorating his mental state and actually assisting his descending into madness and encouraging him or demanding him to kill his family. And that is one of the things that is just superb about this movie. Stanley Kubrick is an absolute master at movie making. We don't get all the answers. Even at the end, we don't find out exactly what is going on. Obviously, there are supernatural forces at work here. There are some ghosts, presumably, inside this hotel who are either haunting Jack or working with him. We don't really know, because at the end of this movie, without sort of ruining it for anybody, I'm assuming most of people watching this have already seen the movie. If not, spoilers ahead, I'm sorry, but it came out in 1980, so I'm assuming most people have seen it. This is like a throwback review, a retro review. There's a picture of Jack Torrance in the hotel lobby that he sees, and we're led to believe that he's some sort of hotel manager or owner or in a different position. He's not a caretaker in this picture, but it's definitely him there. Another sort of maybe a slightly younger version of him. But what I believe, and it's never been explained or confirmed, but I believe that the hotel is indeed haunted. I believe that Jack was indeed there before. I can't explain how he has a wife and family, but we never see Jack outside the hotel. And he has a conversation in the men's room with a waiter who he believes was the old caretaker who killed his wife and children, the twin daughters, in the hotel before him, and now he's a waiter. So I believe that these ghouls or these ghosts are somehow swapping positions and reliving past events over and over, and they're trapped in this hotel, I believe. I just cannot explain the wife and the kid then, if that is indeed what is happening. Are they also ghosts? Because we do see them outside the hotel, but we never see Jack outside the hotel. So it does get a little bit complicated, and it kind of leaves you scratching your head. There are documentaries on this movie trying to explain what it actually all means and what the actual understanding of the end was. But I don't think we actually have a definite answer. And now with Stanley Kubrick gone, I don't think we ever will get the answer. I don't think anybody actually knows. But that's the wonderful thing about The Shining. It leaves it open to viewer interpretation. There are different ways you can interpret it. And when you watch it again and again and again, I watch this movie at least probably twice a year, once or twice a year minimum. I rewatched it the other night because Dr. Sleep, its follow-up, the sequel to this movie, so many damn years later, 40 years later to be exact, is coming out next week. So I definitely want to watch that next weekend. And I just thought it might be a good time to revisit the original Shining and also also might just throw out a review there, a nice throwback retro review for everybody to enjoy. And the cinematography is incredible from the very opening sequences where you actually see Jack driving up to the hotel. Iconic. That camera work is iconic to this day. The score, the music in this movie really makes it as well. It makes it all that more, it builds up the tension a lot more, makes it a lot more terrifying. And considering that this movie came out in 1980, it still really holds up to its own, and it will be a classic forever with no doubt. Then the acting, obviously Jack Nicholson, huge standout, absolutely flawless. Shelley Duvall was amazing as well. The actor who played the young son was incredible too. Everybody acted very well. It was convincing throughout. So I guess all I can say is this movie in its entirety from beginning to end is basically flawless. Cannot fault it whatsoever. Which is why the original Shining from 1980 gets a perfect score of 13 out of 13. If you haven't seen this and you enjoy horror, first of all, I'll find it very hard to believe you haven't heard of The Shining or seen it if you're a big horror fan. Most of us horror fanatics would have seen this. If not, go out, watch it. Do yourself a favor. Go out, see this film, especially with Dr. Sleep just around the corner coming out, which will be a worthy watch also. And I'll definitely review Dr. Sleep next week after I watch the film. Even if you don't like older movies, this is an absolute classic and will be forever. It's worth watching at least once, even if you despise older films. And this isn't even that old. 1980 to me isn't that old at all. Thoroughly enjoyable, flawless from beginning to end. And this has inspired a lot of horror these days, so why not go back? If you're a film goer, you enjoy horror movies, you enjoy terrifying thrillers, go out, see this, and you'll actually bear witness to what has influenced a lot of films in the last 40 years. For more movie reviews and discussion, don't forget to subscribe, click that notification bell, and keep coming back to visit the creepy one right here, Bannock 13.